We got quite the show for you guys. I missed my entire intros, well coordinated. I said no ums, us, or buts. It was clean. We're going to be talking some League of Legends for you guys today. We've got roster swaps, MSI, pretty much team information up to bat as we kind of dive into some of these the dynamics of the teams here. We've got NRG. We were just talking about the roster swap that came in, Quas, Santorin, and Kiwi Kid. I thought Kiwi Kid was going to retire. I'm not sure what he was doing, what he's doing on the team.
I thought he'd just be a YouTuber, like exactly what PewDiePie did, except not as good.
Honestly, I think looking at the roster on paper, when Quas was on Liquid, it didn't look like he had a whole lot of success on the team.
I think Quas was really good.
He was good, but I mean, the team that he was with kind of made him look a lot worse than he
Liquid?
actually is. Liquid, yeah. The team made him look a lot worse than he actually was.
I thought he was always consistent. He was good. It was really weird. We don't know the reasons why he left, but I don't think it was because he was struggling on the roster. I think it's some other personal reason. So it really surprised me that he left the team. Didn't make sense at all.
Yeah, no, and it's also on the same token of the fact that Alltech left the NRG for a little while, and they had to replace him with, I don't remember the ADC that replaced Alltech for a little while, but it was a week or two in the LCS where NRG didn't have their starting AD carry, and they had to substitute that player.
I think he just left because he's a drama queen.
Well, I mean, he's also not on NRG anymore to begin with, so the fact of the matter is...
I wonder why, because the team that they're putting together now, with GBM, Santorin, and there's Kiwi Kid, sounds pretty good. The other... You don't think so? You don't?
You know what? Kiwi Kid...
Okay, I'm saying without Kiwi Kid. That's what I'm saying.
They also haven't announced their AD carry, and it's obviously they've been joking around with I'm a cutie pie, but that would still be a...
And you know what? You have to realize Alltech is the AD carry, so he has to lane with Kiwi Kid. That's probably why
Alltech might not be on the starting roster come summer split.
What, for NRG?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He left.
Yeah, exactly. He's so they don't have an AD carry.
Well, they probably told him you're going to play with Kiwi Kid, and he says, yeah, no thanks. He's going to play with Lemon now in Cloud9's Challenger team, right?
Yeah, no, and that's a perfectly fine roster for them, right? And a lot of the reason, we'll get into that a little bit later, but Cloud9 is developing their own Challenger team, which is going to be really interesting to see how they compete in the open qualifier, because they don't get an automatic spot. They have to compete to earn a spot.
Energy has, think about it, they have only one foreign player, right? Because Quas counts as North American, right? So they have room for a foreign player. And they have GBM, who's a really good mid laner in Korea. Mm-hmm. So I bet you they're going to get some import.
Yeah, well, let's go back to that NRG starting roster. We have Kiwi Kid, Santorin, and Quas. Now, we were talking about earlier, Team Liquid kind of gave Quas, you were saying how you really enjoyed him, and you thought that he did a pretty stellar job on the Team Liquid lineup. But unfortunately, in my opinion, I think that the team made him look worse than he actually was, because in the Challenger Series, or before he was drafted to Team Liquid, he was doing wondrous things on different teams. But when he arrived to Team Liquid on the starting roster, I don't think he was doing as hot that season, and that's why coming into NRG, I think they picked up a middle of the pack top laner. It is just in my opinion.
Well, no, I don't think that's true, because if you, think about it, in North America, what top laners are there? Who's the best top laner in North America? Zion?
Yeah.
Or Darshan? And then who's after that?
Maybe Haunter?
Haunters. And then what?
And then maybe Balls?
So Balls is the third best top laner in North America. So think about that. There's no one. There's no one else out there. And dude, Quas isn't even he's not even North American. He's from Venezuela or something. Which is that North America?
South America.
Is this okay? So it's South America. There you go. So he's not even North American. So there's nobody else out there. So I think Quas is better than Balls. Don't you think?
Well, I mean, I have to say, I'm a little bit biased because, I'm a Cloud9 fan. But hold on, seeing Balls on the world stage, we haven't seen Quas on the world stage yet, but seeing Balls on the world stage when he got that Pentakill, I think, on Darius, and he just went absolutely an absolute monster. I honestly think that Balls, a majority of the time, he kind of underperforms. He's got so much potential.
No, he doesn't have.
He does have potential.
He's been playing in the league for 4 years already, hasn't he?
Yeah, but like,
what more potential is there? He's been playing for 4. How much longer is it going to take for his potential to come out?
I honestly think that he relies a lot on the shot calling from high to kind of tell him where to go and to be. And without that, he might be like a weak top laner. So he's like stuck on Cloud9. Like Cloud9 should not get another top laner. I mean, they have Impact now, so supposedly. And then I think Balls is going on the challenger roster.
So Balls is now going to. He's not good enough to be on the main team. Dude, Quas is like, he may not be at all.
But I can't believe we're having a debate about Balls right now. But in his prime, he did like the entire team.
In his prime doesn't matter now, dude. Come on, don't be a nostalgia.
Anyways, I honestly think Quas is not a top 4 top laner.
I think he's a top 3 top laner.
I don't think he's a top 4.
You have to at least give him top 4.
No, I'm not giving him.
Okay, you know what? Well, you can't actually. You can't say that. Yeah, I guess it's true because now you have other top laners. Like you have Huni, you have Impact, right? Mm-hmm. So okay, that's fine. But in terms of like non-Korean top laners, he's definitely top 3. Come on, he's not an all-star, but he's like consistent.
Well, in the 2 seasons, I've pulled it up here. In the 2 seasons that he did compete, he earned 3rd place amongst. But I mean, like that was also a season where Winter Fox, Teammate, and Coast were a part of. So you honestly can't gauge how well he was if he placed 3rd place. COG placed 5th, but that was when they probably had like a little bit of a messy roster. But you can't gauge his strength during the season that he played because he played with such terrible teams like Enemy, Teammate.
Whatever you think of him, this is what you have to realize.
Okay.
If you're in Energy's position right now, if you didn't have Quas, if you did pick up Kiwi and you picked up Santorin, we'll get to them later.
Okay.
We'll get to them later. But if you right now you have a void in your AD carry and top positions, right? You have room for one more import. Who are you going to put as your import? Your AD carry, the person who should be like one of the best, like the highest damage dealers on the team, or your top laner? You're obviously going to pick the import to be AD carry. You're going to look for the best AD carry you can get. So who else do they have? Who else could they even get for top lane in North America? No one. That's the answer.
Well, I mean, like if they get rid of Impact, they have another import.
Not
if you get rid of Impact, you have another import to use.
No, they have GBM. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If in that import, they're going to put an AD carry, not top. Like that's the thing. There's even less North American AD carries than there are top laners.
But
Quas is available.
If you take a look at the meta right now, this is getting into like some really stretched like the topic of Balls and Quas is just going like to the nines. But I honestly think that right now the meta calls for a good top laner more than it calls for a good AD carry.
Yeah, but maybe
you can get like a subpar, like you can get like Maple Street, and then you can get like Smeb from SKT,
right now, fine. But if you want to put a team that's going to be like has a chance to go to Worlds, which Energy did have this season, and they want to keep that. If they want that, they're going to have to look like into the future, and getting an AD carry is way more important than getting a good top laner. In my opinion,
if I
you also think Balls is good.
I think Balls is like 5th or 4th best top laner in NA.
Maybe 9th best.
5th or 4th. I'm giving him 5th or 4th. Being a Cloud9 fan, I don't give him 1st. I'm giving him 5th or 4th. Here's what I think. I think they shouldn't have drafted Kiwi Kid. Support is one of the most important roles in terms of warding, in terms of being maybe a good shot caller, in terms of maybe being at the right place at the right time to create opportunities for your team, whether it is a gank or a lane swap or just a rotation in general. A support player is somebody who you need to be a strong player on your team. And Kiwi Kid is 10th place.
That's a whole other
He is 10th place. He is the 10th best support in the LCS, and that is 10th. And I honestly think the fact that High is no longer in the LCS, he's in the Challenger team, that makes Kiwi Kid 11th. He's the 11th best LCS player right now in support. He is absolute garbage. Maybe Dignitas didn't give him an opportunity to shine. Maybe he didn't have the supportive staff because Dignitas absolutely gave up on their League of Legends team. Or just maybe he needs the proper coaching and he needs the proper team to be kind of like around him in order to support him, give him tips, tell him where to be, tell him what to do. Because now if you think about NRG, who's their shot caller? You draft a whole bunch of I wouldn't say no names, but you draft a whole bunch of people who have something to prove. Who's the shot caller?
It's gonna be a Kiwi kid, I bet you.
Ew.
But you know why?
Why?
Because he's like the oldest, has the most experience, so that's what they're gonna do. Because think about it, what else is he good for? Nothing. It's not good mechanically. Like, wasn't there some play where he like flashed and like no, I was watching like,
Flash Flay, I think it was. Yeah.
Or I'm thinking of that thing where I'm a Cutie Pie like went to steal golems from like double lift and and he just like died and lost flash.
Honestly, like I think the Kiwi kid is like I would love to see NRG prove me wrong. I would love to see Summer Split NRG top 3. Like that would
I don't think so.
That would blow. No, of course not. They'll place worse than they did this season.
I think so.
And they had I think an even better team than the one that they drafted now. We'll have to see who they put in the AD carry position, but in my opinion that doesn't matter. Right now the combination is a good top lane and a good jungle. Santorin's mediocre, but he wasn't able to get out of Challenger Series with Ember. And Quas, we'll have to see how he performs, but I think it also depends on if he likes the meta, right? If Quas is comfortable with playing tanks and running Strength of the Ages all day, every day, or if I don't know. But I agree with you. I don't think NRG is gonna place.
No, they're not.
At all.
But dude, what they got here, besides Kiwi Kid, I think is the best they could have got. Like, Santorin's pretty good. He has good experience. He has world experience. Like, who else is... Okay, but you might think that's not a good pick, but who else is there? There's no one. And, like, if you have the option for Santorin, that's a really good option right now. Like, if you can't get an import, Santorin is, like, the best option. Because didn't he already declare his NA residency?
Like, free agency or whatever?
Or as an NA...
Oh, he's an NA resident now.
Yeah, I think so. Well, how else... Is he actually... Because if he's not, then they can't get a Korean import. But I'm pretty sure he is.
That's pretty interesting. But I mean, honestly, I really hate this discussion of Korean import this and Korean import that.
I know.
I honestly think it's not. It doesn't solve anything.
You might not like it, but that's how it is.
Like, it doesn't solve anything. Like, they imported Impact, and where did NRG place? NRG placed
dude, NRG was such a weird team. But do they even all speak the same language?
I think the support was translating.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
In a team fight, you have to be translating live what's happening.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. That's why they failed.
They placed 5th in the regular season, and they tied with TSM.
What? Oh, in the regular season.
In the regular season. And then in the playoffs, they even get to play in the playoffs. They lost to Liquid 3-0.
By the way, on the show, didn't we say that TSM and Fnatic will play better in playoffs? Because everyone was worried that they're not going to they're going to fail in the playoffs. But I think pretty sure we said once they get to playoffs, they'll make it on. Did we say that?
TSM.
Wait, what was the bet we made? By the way,
it was something about NRG placing higher than Echo Fox in the standings, and Echo Fox placed
Echo Fox had a great run at the end.
They did have a great run. They
not
won
great enough to be
2-3 weeks in a row.
Don't you have to put energy on your forehead or something? I'm looking it up. I'm not gonna forget about it.
Oh, okay. I'll do that next stream then. I'll do that next stream. I'll put energy.
I'm pretty sure you have to put it on your forehead.
I'll put it on my forehead, marker.
You have the worst luck when it comes
Grandin
to
toy marker. I'll
You're
put it on my
dumb
forehead.
For making that bet.
Honestly, this is what the show's about, man.
Making dumb bets.
I placed 2 bets. Oh no, I'm not doing it now. I'm not doing it now.
Was it even energy? I must have.
It was energy and Echo Fox, and I thought
Echo Fox?
You know what? You can look it up. I posted it on Facebook. I posted it on Facebook.
Did?
Yeah, it was somewhere deep down. By the way, sorry to say, this is a great segue. We do have one of our panels. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, engage with us on YouTube and SoundCloud. We have a little social media panel on our channel now. Somebody suggested last week that we put it up. I set it up real quick today. Now it is partially up and running. So if you want to connect with us, just look down in the Twitch panels, and then you should be able to follow the links, and you know what to do with the big thumbs up. Let's talk about TSM. We briefly mentioned them, but Yellow Star left quicker.
We talked about that, didn't we?
He left so quickly.
No, well, I'm pretty sure we talked about. We said like I'm pretty sure I think you said something like I wouldn't be surprised if Yellowstar left, and we both like agree that like there's a good chance he will. Yeah. And I don't think people thought he was underperforming, but they didn't think that he would leave because isn't the whole thing like
where do you like honestly? All of you watching, go on Yellowstar's Facebook page, press shop now, and the story will tell itself. Pretty much where it will lead you is a lot of athletes have their own like shop or whatever. Like it'll send you to the team shop, and Yellowstar's shop now button takes you to Fnatic's website.
Oh, I know. Okay.
So
no, the funniest was Yellowstar's hacked Gmail, that parody.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
My
Every
God.
single one of those was funnier than the last.
If you, it's funny because like if you donate like per month to like if you Patreon to Esports Express, you can join their Skype call and you can like suggest stuff to add to their like.
Really?
So yeah, you can be like, hey, like I think it'd be really dope if you guys had a Gmail thing of Yellowstar, so and you could like suggest what emails, and you see like in the email, I'm a cutie pie is like welcome to the losers club or something like that.
Simple, the Counter-Strike player is like want to sit with me on the plane. They're both leaving NA to go back home. That's so funny.
But honestly, Yellowstar going back to Fnatic, it's not surprising. He was the main shot caller. People say like it was Rainover and Hooney, but on Fnatic, it was Yellowstar who was the main shot caller, and I think that he'll find comfort there with seeing friendly faces like Daylor, Febevan, Reckless or Reckles, whatever. Or seeing comfortable faces like that, he will be able to put Fnatic in a much better. Well, this is assuming he's going to Fnatic. He could go somewhere completely.
He's definitely going to Fnatic.
He's definitely going.
There's nowhere else.
This is just an assumption. He could go to H2. No, he's not going to go to H2K. I honestly think that Yellowstar going back to Fnatic will put them in their former glory. Losing in the spring finals, the European finals to G2 was probably really demoralizing to Fnatic. And I honestly think a lot of people, like Reddit is a whole nother ball game. And pretty much what Reddit does is they kind of give you a ballpark of who they think is underperforming as opposed to who is actually underperforming. And I think a lot of eyes are on Spirit right now and the fact that Spirit's not able to create the pressure that the team needs around the map. And I think Yellowstar will be able to shot call pretty much Spirit and tell him where he needs to be. Spirit can obviously jungle like effectively, but he probably needs that voice.
I still can't believe they got Gamsu. Like from Dignitas to Fnatic. I don't understand. Should they not have got like they're going to use their import anyways on him, right? Because he's not European. He was Korean, went to NA. Could they not have gotten somebody better? And even Hooney they got was just like a sub, wasn't he, on like a Korean team?
Well, here's the story of Gamsu. I'm here on his league Gamepedia. And he was on Samsung Galaxy Blue. I think he was on maybe as a sub or something like that. But nevertheless, he was on like a really, really good team. And then he was picked up by Dignitas and obviously didn't do so well. But honestly, Dignitas is just jail. You have to think about Dignitas as jail. It's honestly, they don't have a good supportive staff. They care more about their Counter-Strike team and their Heroes of the Storm team.
Dignitas, like, I don't know. I don't even know what they don't even have a top team in anything now, do they?
Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Storm?
Yeah.
That's so dumb. Like, I feel like they could have put more effort into their like league team. They sort of let it like get like out of hand with keeping Kiwi and Cutie Pie for so long. Like they really could have. Like other teams made moves. You know, I don't think they wanted to invest that much because they were playing in the LCS way before all these contracts cost so much money. You know.
Yeah.
So when a player went to them and was like, "I want to be paid this much," they probably laughed at that player because they thought that was like too much money. They're probably like kicking themselves for that now because player prices are going up so much. They probably just refuse to pay that much and let their team get to where it is now. Gone.
They also have a Smite team and maybe a couple Hearthstone players, but they're Heroes of the Storm.
They have a Trackmania player and a FIFA player.
But their main bread and butter here is the Heroes of the Storm team. I'm not sure how good is their CS:GO team.
They're pretty good. They're
pretty 10. Good. They're top 10.
Kind of. It's
Well, it
complicated.
looks like they have a bunch of Europeans, so they obviously are
It's
pretty
kind of
good.
complicated, but yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
But not like the thing about League. Like League kind of built their brand a lot. You know, like they sold the sweaters and all that. The Counter team doesn't really do that. I guess that here's the Storm people might like want to buy their merch but where do the Dignitas fans come from? It was League. It was always League. And you remember they made the choice. They had to decide whether they wanted the NA team or the EU team.
Yeah.
They chose the NA team. Who did the EU team become?
I think it was Huma. No, it wasn't Huma. I think it was Follow Esports, which turned into Splice.
Oh, Splice did not good, right?
Not really.
But they're in the LCS, aren't they?
They are, but they're kind of like the Team Impulse of actually no, that's a bad example. They're kind of like the Renegades before they made the roster swap. They're kind of like bottom of the pack, but they do okay. We'll see how they do like later on in the summer split. I don't know if they'll make any roster swaps themselves, but like Splice is just happy to have made it like at all.
Well, they're in the
right?
LCS and Dignitas isn't. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Dignitas shows wrong, but I feel like don't you feel like the last year or even 2 years like Dignitas was just like holding on. I think the biggest chance they had was when they got Zion, Spartan, and Shifter, and they had Zion, Crumbs, Shifter, Apollo. Was he?
Yeah.
No.
Well, Apollo
No.
was still there.
No, he wasn't on the team with Shifter, was it? Was it still? Wasn't Kiwi Kid? Was it? I think it was Kiwi Kid and Cutie Pie.
Yeah, but Cutie Pie left at some point. And I think
But I
that's
think-
when they got Apollo. Right?
But they had a good chance there with Shifter and Zion. Like they were a good team. Like at that time, they had decent players. And then since then, things have just gotten.
They had
so
Core JJ. Do you remember that name?
Yeah, I know.
Core
Are you
JJ
sure?
was on the team for quite some time.
But
and
he
then
wasn't on with Shifter and Zion, was he? At the beginning.
He was.
At the
He
beginning.
was.
Oh,
He
okay.
was. Actually, no. You're
No,
right.
at the beginning.
You're
no,
right.
At the beginning.
You're right. I don't.
But that was the best. Like that was like the best chance they had, besides like season 2 and like season.
But that was also before Zion Spartan became the legend that he is
no,
today, right?
dude, he was always good. He was good like when he was GGU and then Coast. He was always a beast.
You know what I think? The reason why I have this memory of top laners not being so great is because the team itself doesn't perform as well. Like the fact that I have this.
GGU went to the finals with TSM and season.
Who was on GGU when that roster was?
Zion Spartan, Nintendo, Shifter, Apollo or Wiz Fusion, and then Daydreaming. I memorized
Let me
it.
take a look at this.
Dude, I was a Team Coast fan, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Right after when they were GG, right after they became Coast from GGU, that's when I was a really big Coast fan. Like their team was sick, like cool. It was really good. It was sick. They didn't do that good though. They had Daydreaming, who wasn't the best, but yeah, man. Like when Dignitas got Zion and Shifter, that was a huge chance for them. They could have. Weren't they in like second or first place for like the first half of the split? They were. Like I'm pretty sure they were like number one or like 1 or 2 in the league.
Dignitas always like starts strong and then just absolutely falters. Honestly, like spending so much time talking about Dignitas is a curse in and
Well,
of
dude,
itself.
you have to talk about them. They're gone.
No, I know. And they actually released their farewell video on Reddit earlier.
Oh, what's happening to Shifter?
He's probably going to get drafted to another team. There's a good mid laner out, but
He's really good.
he's kind of like a passive aggressive teenager who tweets about their problems like ambiguously. Like he is like one of the
Yeah,
worst
but he's
worst
playing-
mid laners you could
He's playing
possibly
with
draft.
Dignitas. Like, okay, you can forgive him for that.
Like whenever he gets into a problem, he just like runs away. Like he plays mid laners like RE, like he'll play something safe like Victor or like Oriana. Like he'll never play. Like he'll play something with like a really good escape or like really safe.
Well, yeah, he won't be. The whole thing is he won't be aggressive in lane. Like he'll just farm, which
Yeah.
is fun. And dude, he's got a really high skill cap. So I do think there's some challenger teams that'd love to like have him. I don't think he'll be on an LCS team. He is good. I don't think any LCS teams are looking for mid, and they can definitely find better. Like if you're gonna import players, you're gonna get one like either a jungler, a mid, or an AD carry. You know, you don't really want to import a support unless it's like Yellow Star or something. So I think mid lane's like there's nowhere for him to go on an LCS team. He's gonna have to play in a challenger team.
Well, I mean, also we have to take into consideration Team Impulse is still looking to sell their LCS spot, and like you could probably build a team Team Impulse. They're still trying to sell their
Oh, yeah.
spot.
I wonder. I must be asking for too much money.
No, well, I mean, like I think that they're trying to sell it as fast as they can, and I don't think they're looking for too much. They probably already have a couple of offers. Like if Dignitas was able to sell their European team just like that. If Echo Fox was able to buy a team just like that,
Game Without Pain. You guys looking for
if Game Without Pain is looking for an LCS team, there's $1 million on whose
Impulse.
price tag? Impulse. Yeah, there's a price tag there.
If you get the Impulse, you can buy Impulse.
True.
It's not true.
Those rough memes. Rough memes in the
meme, dude. A joke is not a meme, man. It just could be a joke. Not everything has to be a meme, man.
What other roster swaps occurred? Cloud9 started their.
Oh yeah, that's
a really interesting roster.
It's interesting, but kind of weird too. Like I don't think they should split their two teams in half. I think they should put the best players on one team and keep the rest on the second team. So what are they doing? It's going to be high support, right? No, it's going to be bunny support.
It's okay. So it's going to be. Hold on, I'm going to whip up the. Here's the article. The starting roster will be Bunny Fufu, Meteos, Jensen, Sneaky.
Read it in order from top down.
It's just going to be Impact, Meteos, Jensen, Sneaky, Bunny Fufu. And then the remaining members will compete on the Challenger squad. So it's Balls, Rush, High.
Wait, what?
Yeah, High and Lemonation.
Wait, High mid?
Probably. And then Alltech will be on 80 carry, but they're it's not the finalized.
Both
team.
those teams sound really good. That's stupid. That's really dumb of them. Why are they dividing their two teams? Why not just have the best players on your LCS team? What are they doing?
No, they do have the best players.
No,
Here's what happened.
Rush?
Here's what happened. Last year, Worlds Special came down to Toronto. I had this one-on-one talk with him, and he was telling me that High was gonna spend spring split teaching Bunny Fufu the ropes, how to shot call, how to be a good leader.
Yeah, it didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't need to throw him in. He was just listening on scrims. He spent the entire split learning, and then now we'll get to see if it translated at all. I mean, you're rolling your eyes, but honestly, you have to wait and see.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about why is Meteos playing instead of Rush? That doesn't make any sense. You can't even justify it. Why?
Well, you don't know. Maybe this is just.
No, we do know. You just told me that Rush is not on the main side.
Yeah, I know, but what if they just switch it around? What if they swap it around? What if Meteos goes to the Challenger team?
Okay.
And, they could swap it around.
But why are they even doing this from the start? Doesn't make any sense.
They're saying that it is to raise the quality of the Challenger Series.
Raise the quality.
Raise the quality of the Challenger Series.
Okay, so they're doing a favor to NA League of Legends. That's stupid.
Pretty much.
That's dumb. That's not how you make a good team. Nobody needs any favors.
Well, think about it this way: if Cloud9 gives some of these Challenger teams a scrim partner. Now, there's I read an article from UBC. They just recently won the Collegiate Series 2 seasons in a row. So they have their scholarship covered 2 times over. They're just rolling in money at this point. And they were saying that some of the top teams wouldn't even scrim them. They're you're not worth our time. So it sucks because UBC, I think, was the closest one that had access to some of these lower end teams. Whereas a team like UFT or Ryerson, York University, they would have to scrim other universities, and that's why UBC was one of the best because they were able to scrim lower end LCS teams or Challenger teams, and that's why they're two-time winners in a row.
Okay, but why?
Hold on. The fact that you're able to have this scrim partner, the fact that UBC was able to have people in the industry, in the LCS, in the Challenger Series, scrim them, raise their ability to a level where other universities could not compete with.
I understand.
Hold on.
I know what you're saying. I know what
now
you're
this
saying.
translates directly into the Challenger Series because if Cloud9 is hey, Good Game University, let's say there's another scrub team that comes together, we want to scrim you because we want to raise the NA talent. They're sure they're doing a weird favor, but I was having a conversation with, remember Sean Tepper, he was on the show a couple weeks ago. He was telling me making Challenger teams is like like the way to make money in esports. You make a challenger team, you get to LCS, you sell them off, and you make $1 million.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. I was gonna say, like, why does Cloud9 need to be the good guy who like steps down? He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna be the best team in LCS. I'm gonna help out everybody else. That's stupid. Why are they like? I guess if they want to make money, then yeah, that makes sense. But that's like nobody wants. Like, do you want Cloud9 to suffer in the LCS just to help other teams that aren't even like affiliated with them? Of course you don't. You want Cloud9 to be the best team possible, right?
Okay, you know what? I understand. Hold on.
Listen to me. If Meteos, if Meteos is good enough to play in the LCS, he's good enough to compete in the LCS. Don't you think he'd be just perfectly fine in the Challenger Series? Like, putting Rush in the main roster would make sense. Now, if you're saying that they want to keep him there to help the Challenger Series, well, if Meteos is good enough to play in the LCS, then he's definitely good enough to play in the Challenger Series and help out these other teams because that's what they want, right?
You're honestly so tilted.
I'm
Like,
just
you're
saying.
so focused on this
I'm
one
just
announcement.
About you.
Like, they could switch it at any time, and like they could like be like, "Hey, Meteos, you're out."
But
like,
why even
Rush
do
in.
this from the start? Like, Meteos,
I don't know.
Do you think Meteos is an LCS tier jungler?
Well, he's been playing solo queue for. Hold on.
not what I asked. If you want me to ask,
I don't know.
If he can get the challenger,
I don't know. What if Rush asks to be on the challenger team? What if he's like, you know what, Meteos, I trust you.
Well, if he gets paid the same, then whatever.
Yeah, and honestly, like, yeah, you have to think about it from this perspective. If Rush is willing to go into a challenger series team, he's a world-class jungler. Okay,
how do you know he's willing? I bet
he is a world-class jungler. Okay. Mm-hmm. At some point, he can say, you know, C9, my contract is up. I do not want to be in this team any longer. He could do that at any moment. I don't know how long his contract was, but you have to think about it from this perspective. If he's going in kind of his own direction and he's going onto this Challenger Series team, you have to understand that he might have just the willpower to do so. Like, he might just want to do it. Like, he might just be like, whatever their game plan is with this Challenger Series team, whatever they're like thinking about doing, it's perfect. Like you have to ask, like, why is Lemonation coming back then?
That's
like,
fine.
why is
a
he
perfect Challenger jungler?
Yeah, but
I mean,
but why is he coming back? Why do you think Lemonation is coming back?
Because he's nowhere else to go.
No, but he was the coach / analyst for Cloud9, and he did pick and ban for their team. Why is he still going to be the coach? Is he only going to play on the Challenger Series team?
Because look, they need a support, and they know that Lemon like knows the team well. He knows probably some shots.
Yeah, but why not just put High in support and get a different mid lane?
Who's their mid laner in the Challenger team now?
High.
Oh well, because there's no one else. That's why there's no one else available.
Shifter's available. Golden Glue is available.
Okay, dude. Both. Okay. First of all, Shifter I don't think would fit the type like. It sounds like what they want to do is build a team that's made of people they know well. Like, High and Lemon know exactly first of all, they're the ones running it, aren't they? Isn't this their idea?
Sure.
They're the two people who are like in charge. So for sure they're going to want to be on the team and be playing. And I think, didn't they say something like they're going to start they're going to phase themselves out, sort of? They're going to look for more players. Like, they're trying people out, aren't they? Did you see that video they put out?
No, what was the video referring to?
They were just talking about how they're trying to put together like a team. I don't know if they announced it already, but like they're trying out a whole bunch of players like in custom games, like to try to make this challenger team. I bet they're gonna get some new people, I think, on this like challenger team, because right now it's not anyone new.
Listen, I think the bottom line, the let alone.
So I said, I bet you Bao Lam is involved.
Yeah, no. Let alone. The idea of this challenger team is to raise the quality of the challenger team. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Okay, why are they trying out people then? Why are they?
You said it yourself. Making a challenger team can make you so much money.
There's two reasons why they're doing this.
They don't care about NA. Dude, nobody cares about NA League of Legends, dude. If you really, that's such a like a naive way to think of it. It's like the world. It's like, oh, should we, instead of working like on my own self-gain, I'm going to help out other people. Nobody does that, man.
Game Without Pain does that. They would hope.
Yeah, they have their own objectives still.
No, but they're honestly here to engage and help with
but
and
they're
help
not-
people and inform people. And what do you think charities are for? You think charities are for
Charities
like,
are
hey,
different.
I'm rolling in the dough
So
with
are
all
you-
these Bill
you're
Gates
calling,
investments?
So you're calling Cloud9 a charity, is what you're saying. Cloud9 is literally a charity, is that what you're saying?
I'm not.
You're saying, that's what you're saying.
Oh my god.
Nobody, dude, their main objective is not to help everybody
I'm so
out.
tilted.
It's to make money, like you said. That's every business objective is to make money so that they can continue to do what they do.
Somebody in the chat, Arvman 2, you can't sell a team with retired players. There's no appeal.
No, but it's not the players.
I know
it's the
they're
spot.
not selling the players. They're trying to sell the spot.
Yeah.
But young Joseph, you're missing a crucial piece of this pie. You're missing a very crucial piece. If you want to sell this challenger spot, right? You're like, hey, it's worth $1 million.
Oh,
Well, I mean, like if they
LCS
make it into
spot.
LCS, it's worth $1 million. We stomped everybody in the relegations. Free spot, make it into LCS. It's yours, $1 million.
free for $1 million.
Sorry, you get what I'm saying. Draft the team, buy it. Why not just buy Dignitas' spot then? They bought a spot where they have to qualify. They don't get an automatic buy into the Challenger Series. Why not, if they're going to sell it in the future, why not make your life easier and just buy Dignitas'
Because it
spot?
costs money. Because
Yeah,
it costs
but
money.
then
they don't have that money.
So then, like, what's the entire thing? They think that this team will just make it to the end of the Challenger Series,
Yes,
and
of course. Why would they bother making that team in the first place? It's so simple. They're making this team. They don't want to buy a Challenger spot. They want to make it to Challenger. Then they want to make it to LCS so they can sell the spot. If they have to pay like a shit ton of money to get to the Challenger spot and then maybe make it to LCS, why not just do it right from the start? It's free. It's free to try to get into the Challenger, right?
they still bought a spot.
Did they buy a spot?
Yeah, they Cloud9 purchased the Challenger Series spot formerly owned by Enemy. Due to Enemy's 6th place finish last split, the Cloud9
So why
Challenger
are you
team will
asking me if
need
they're
to
going to buy
compete.
Dignitas spot? I don't understand.
Well, I mean, like, if you're gonna buy a spot regardless, just buy Dignitas' spot.
They already bought Enemies, you said.
I know, but I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, if you're going to buy a spot, there's 2 spots available. Dignitas, who's already in the Challenger Series, and Enemy, who's not. Why not just buy Dignitas if you're going to drop money anyways?
Oh, wait, okay, is Enemies out of the Challenger Series?
Yes.
So what are they in right now?
They're 6th place, so they have to qualify.
Oh.
So Cloud9...
Well, I can tell you, well, obviously, Enemies is way cheaper. I bet you they got it for almost nothing. Like, that's worthless. 6 in the, like, to qualify, that's worthless. That's almost the same as just starting from scratch. It's just a little bit better. They probably got it for so cheap. Maybe they got it for free.
Anywho, we need to move on to another topic which concerns this. Apex buys Dignitas' spot, so now they have 2 teams.
They do?
Apex is in LCS, and they're going to start their own Challenger team too.
Who's going to be on the... Like, why are we talking about this? There's going to be nobody good on that team.
You don't know that.
I do know that. It's going to be, like, Shifter with, like, a whole bunch of random people.
The same people who owned Apex.
I know.
Who is the management?
Special? I don't know.
Coast. It's
Oh,
the
is it?
same guys who ran Coast.
Wait, it is?
Yes.
Wait, does Team Coast not exist anymore?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Is it David Slan?
Yes.
I always asked him I wanted to buy a Coast jersey, but he never emailed me back.
Anyways, Apex Gaming
Hey, Team Coast still
also
exists.
formerly owned former management of the League of Legends Coast team. And then now they own Apex Gaming. Apex Gaming's in the LCS, but they have purchased Dignitas' spot, so they're automatically in the Challenger Series. They just need to build a team.
Right.
This who knows? Like Shifter could be on that team. Like who knows?
It's gonna be another challenge. Who cares, man? It's gonna be another crappy Challenger team. Don't you think?
You honestly?
What do you think they're gonna like? The thing about if you have an LCS team and you also have a Challenger team, you're not gonna put much of like. That's why I don't understand what Cloud9 is doing. You're gonna put all your resources into the LCS team because, like you said, once your Challenger team makes it to LCS, you can't have it anymore. You have to sell it, right? Unless you want to make unless you said LCS spots are worth a lot of money. So they're not doing this to help people. They're doing this to make money.
Honestly, one thing that I learned, I was talking to Sean Tepper again. I'm gonna name drop him like all the time. Him and I are like best friends. he was telling me, and I think we were just having this open discussion. I think I actually read this somewhere, and I kind of brought it up to him, and I was like, hey, like, what do you think about this? Chew on this. How does it taste? Energy makes more money from their CSGO team than their League of Legends team. Their League of Legends team is an LCS. Their players are salaried. They have streaming exposure, but they're only using LCS for social media and brand exposure. So, like, I don't understand why LCS spots are worth so much. If somebody like Energy is saying, hey, how's it going? CSGO is the team that makes us the most money. League, sure? That's what they say.
Energy?
Yes.
How does their Counter-Strike team make more money?
Tournaments.
No, there's no way. They haven't won any tournaments. There's absolutely no way, because LCS players get teams get money just for being in LCS, even if you're in last. There's no way that's true.
It's true.
No, where did you hear this?
The energy talked about it somewhere. I think on Reddit or in an ESPN article.
There's no way. There's no way.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, but you understand, Energy CSGO has won like almost nothing. They've won nothing. They've not won a tournament at all.
Well, I obviously don't know the details. Like, I don't know how I don't know how a CSGO team makes money.
Winning tournaments, which they've done not. And I'm telling you, LCS, like just for sitting in the LCS doing nothing, Riot will pay you money. That's why getting to LCS is so like important and worth so much like money. Find this for me. I don't believe this.
They won one thing. They came in like fourth or something.
Fourth. Dude, fourth place in the Counter tournament is like nothing compared to
what if like you're also missing the point of the fact that they might have more sponsorships coming in through for the CS:GO team or something like that. But they share
sponsors. Organizations like if your LCS team and Counter team will have the exact same sponsors. Like a lot of Counter teams have like LOL Pro like as their sponsor for like League of Legends builds and guides, and it's a Counter team. It's just the organization that shares the sponsors. Like certain teams in different games don't have separate sponsors. They don't. They share them, right? Like Cloud9, CS:GO, Cloud9 League have the exact same sponsors, right?
Well,
that's why you see like Counter-Strike.
There's also kind of like a divide. Like for example, HTC has primarily their foot into League of Legends. That's where they started. HTC had that whole phone thing or whatever, but it all kind of started with League. Like I feel like the sponsors, there's sometimes specific sponsors that might only invest into like one side of the team or as opposed to like the entire.
Well, I think maybe for teams that's right, but actually HTC last week did a 1v1 tournament like in Counter-Strike, like a big one. They invited like almost every single good player, and they had like this crazy like production. It was really cool. So they're in other games, but I guess what you're saying is for like Team Liquid and who else? TS7 and Cloud9, right? Are those their three sponsors?
For
teams, HTC sponsors Cloud9,
maybe Team Liquid
and TS7, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, team specifically, yeah, but they are doing other games. But why do we even talk about this?
I was just saying that the fact that like wherever I read this, I should probably go find like a credible article, but Energy was making more money, or like maybe they weren't making as much money as they had hoped with their league team, and they're using it as kind of exposure. And listen, riddle me this.
Don't say that.
Okay.
It's so annoying.
They just drafted 3 new players, right? They drafted the 3 most lovable guys in the entire league community. Kiwi Kid, who you can't get mad at for making a mistake. Quas.
Yeah, yes you can.
Quas, who has the chiseled face of a god, who's just gonna, lose lane but win the hearts of millions.
Lose lane?
And Santorin, who's got that pretty boy look and the hair swept over, and he's gonna bedazzle all the female league players. Like, they have just drafted the 3 most lovable guys in the LCS.
They're definitely not. You really think? if you ask somebody,
and they have GBM who wears bow ties on stage.
No, go back to that though. You ask somebody that's not watching your show, ask them the three most lovable people in the LCS. Do you think they're gonna tell you Santorin?
I said some of.
No,
I know. You're right.
You think they're gonna say Santorin, Klaus, and Kiwi Kid? Like those are the three you think they're gonna pick?
Honestly, like I think they're some of the most lovable guys in the LCS. And if they draft I'm a Cutie Pie, the deal is done. The deal is done.
What a dumb thing to say. It's like, they're probably not the least loved, but they're not the bottom. So yeah, they're definitely some of the most loved. Like no, that doesn't work like that.
Well, no, like Kiwi Kid had the most deaths as a top laner. And they brought up the score
he was a top
and
laner,
he was smiling. Like the image that they have, like if you look it up and you look up Kiwi Kid and it's like most deaths in the LCS and it's like he's like smiling. He's having a great time. You can't hate him.
I completely forgot he was a top laner.
You can't hate Kiwi Kid.
Well, you can hate him.
I honestly think nobody in esports hates Kiwi Kid.
People, sure they do. I'm pretty sure Thorin hates Kiwi Kid. Like, okay, nobody hates anybody just for being like a player, but people don't hate someone because of their personality. Okay.
I just think that as NRG, you have all this money to play with. I'm going back to NRG, but like, I just have this conspiracy that NRG just like they're trying to build a team that has the most brand value, the most brand exposure value. Quas is the soft-spoken guy who's just really mysterious, and you want to find out more about where he's.
He doesn't have a brand, man. He doesn't have any brand. What are you talking about?
Hold up. Kiwi Kid has no brand either, but he's known in League of Legends as like this just funny, laid-back dude who sings the Beatles on stage while he's waiting for a game with I'm a Cutie Pie, who they might draft as well. And then Santorin, who's also fairly soft-spoken, but all he ever did was smile, and even when he was losing, he was smiling with TSM or whatever the case may be. I honestly think this is like a good brand.
None of the players on Energy have any brand. What are you talking about?
Well,
you think?
Hold on. They might not have a brand, but they have personality, right? They have something that might attract people, right? Like if you look at, let's say, Renegades, who on their team is like, yeah, that guy's kind of cool. I would hang out with that guy. Just Crumbs. I think Crumbs is the only guy who's got like personality on the team.
But who cares? Like, who cares if people like them or not?
Here's why. Like you're looking at me like I'm some outrageous heretic, and that's fine.
Why
that's
do we
fine.
care?
Hold on. That's fine. Let's say this is true, right? The fact that League of Legends team don't really make that much money, but because Riot streams games Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, lots of people watch. There's a lot of brand exposure. There's a lot of people have eyes on these players, right? Like, take this in. Like, if Bjergsen were to leave TSM tomorrow, do you know how many fans would leave TSM and follow Bjergsen wherever he would go? Yeah. Think about it.
But nobody on Energy has anything like that.
Hold on, I know, but they have the potential. They have the potential for it.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. I just explained it.
Do you think somebody like Quas has the same potential to be like Dyrus, where you get all of that, like all those stream viewers, all those people who like love him, they'll buy T-shirts with Dyrus on it. Quas has nothing. Anywhere close to
listen.
that.
What NRG might be trying to do, because in my opinion, you have your own opinion, I have mine. They drafted probably one of the worst teams, not in LCS history, but they definitely drafted a team.
Energy. Just now.
Hold on, man. You think that Quas is good and Santorin's got world-class experience?
You think that they're the worst?
No. I said they'll place 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. They won't place top 6, top 5 at all. They're trying to build a brand. They're trying to build exposure. They're trying to build players who have personality. Somebody in the chat was like, Sneaky is the coolest guy. Well, you wouldn't have found out about Sneaky if he wasn't a good player. Now, that's not to say that Energy, maybe their mid laner, GBM, I haven't been watching him, but maybe he's good. Maybe he'll be able to carry the team. But I just think NRG, from a conspiracy point of view, this might be nuts, but I just think that teams don't have loyal fans. Like, it's very rare to find a loyal fan for a team. Like, you'll follow Yellow Star back to Fnatic. TSM, you'll follow Double Lift if he joined Echo Fox.
Dude, TSM, CLG, and Fnatic all have that.
That's true. But I mean, like, for example, if Reckles were to leave, Fnatic would have a fan base, but part of that fan base would also watch Fnatic and Reckles because they'll follow Reckles where he goes.
Wasn't there some like chart you could see? Was it like fans or was it Reddit flares? You could see like from one split to the next, you could see like a graph of like all the people that shifted over. And when Reckles left, like, and kind of how many people like left.
Well, like,
Fnatic
Fnatic's been around since season 1, so it's kind of like a tough example to use because they're such a stone in esports. Like, you can't move Fnatic. There's such like a heavy stone, and like if somebody were to leave, it's not really gonna budge the stone a lot, right? But if we use examples like Echo Fox, if Froggen were to leave, he's got a fan base. He's got his own fan base. And if, like, let's say they had if Echo Fox had golden glue, Echo Fox would have no PR, no brand management, no nothing.
Yeah.
So my conspiracy is that Energy drafted 3 dudes who are fun to hang out with, cool, and lots. They can laugh and have a great time. Think about the vlogs that they're gonna make. Kiwi Kid's gonna make some outrageous remarks, and Quas is just gonna be like, shh. He's gonna, I don't know.
Out of this 3, the only people that see any value with what you're talking about is like Santorin. That's it. Nobody likes Kiwi Kid because he's not a good player.
Okay, all right, guys. People in the chat. There's like 2 people who are pretty active. We've got Simsick95 and Arvman2. Would you hang out with Kiwi Kid? They might take a little while to respond,
We'll wait.
We'll wait, but like, would you hang out with Kiwi Kid? Or would you hang out with Santorin?
Dude, when we talk about esports, we shouldn't be
I know.
nicest to hang out with.
I know. But this is from a perspective of building a team, right? Like, for me...
Exactly. That's why you're saying it's so ridiculous.
If we're using the argument, the fact... Okay, somebody said no.
Yeah, I know. Dude, he's such a trolly guy, man. Look,
listen.
No, you listen to me. If we're going to talk about making good teams, like you're about to say, you want to pick the best players, not the guy who you want to go to brunch with, That's not how it works, man. That's not how sports teams work. You think they just pick the nicest guy at the tryouts? No, they pick the best player, even if he's an asshole. Even if he's Russian and doesn't speak any English. You still pick him because he's the best person available. Who cares if you like him or not? Dude, in baseball teams, they pick all these guys from like Dominican Republic who don't speak any English. They don't hang out with them at all, but they pick them and pay for them to be there because they're the best and they want to win. That's what esports teams should be thinking about. Not, would you hang out with Kiwi Kid? That's so dumb.
You're such like such an esports Republican, man, and I'm like an esports Democrat over here.
I'm realistic.
Yeah, sure. I'm just basing this argument on like this free open discussion, and you're like hitting me down with the Zeus.
If you use your argument and mine, and we both drafted teams, my team would have like Faker and like some of the best players in the world. Yours would have like Kiwi Kid and Dyrus and Cutie Pie, and because you'd say, in the tryouts, these guys were the nicest to me. They brought me cake, and we hung out and we watched movies together. They were the nicest. So I'm gonna pick them for my team.
Listen. I'm basing this argument on the fact that League of Legends, there's a potential based on some stuff that I read. I'm gonna have to confirm after this stream. But some teams, like I would say, fifth place and lower, probably don't make as much money as they'd like from League of Legends, right?
LCS?
I'm saying it's probably like 60 grand.
What, in LCS?
Yeah.
I think any team in LCS is making enough money to sustain. It's Challenger.
It's just it's enough money to sustain, but it's not like how much money TSM, COG, or Cloud9. I mean, they're established brands, right? What Energy is trying to do here, like, I wholeheartedly believe they drafted a pretty bad team. You can disagree with me, but we'll end this discussion on this point. I'm just trying to figure out why did they draft this team, so I'm making some crazy conspiracy that they're drafting for brand exposure with 3 dudes they can easily market.
Well, dude, Shaq is the owner, so
exactly. Well, he's got part decision making in this process. So whoever the general manager is for the Energy team is like, Impact is not marketable. The jungler we had, Moon, was not marketable. The support we had was not doing that well and was not marketable either. Maybe they just chose 3 people who have that type of marketability. But like, we don't have to talk about. We've been arguing about this for like, for how long? are there any other roster swaps that we need to discuss? I don't think anything happened in Europe. Forgiven, out the door.
That's weird. He didn't say it's because of his army recruitment thing. It just said that he wasn't meshing well with the team, which I think is a huge shame because that H2K team looked like to be the best team in the West, don't you think?
In their prime, yeah. When they were doing really well.
Not even in their prime, on paper. And he even said, this is my best chance. When he was talking about how he got recruited, he's like, this is my best chance to, be in a top team. So it just kind of sucks that he let some, I don't know what happened. He said they didn't mesh well or they didn't get along or something. That's weird. I don't understand why that would happen.
Well, you have to understand Forgiven is this really, really loud voice on the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to take no for an answer or he's going to make his own decisions mid-game. You have to understand this guy kind of has a mind of his own. So I guess I kind of understand, but really the question is who will they replace there?
Well,
right?
is Forgiven even still going to play?
Tabs is free agent right now.
But Tabs was he should have been good. I don't know why he didn't play that well. He's not at the place he's at now is not where he was.
In my opinion, I think Tabs he was on a couple of teams and they didn't really do anything for him. They weren't performing to the
Lions
standard.
went to Worlds.
No, after that. After that. I'm talking about after that. He was on Rockcat and they just
Well, I don't think that was their fault.
They just destroyed the entire team. Rockcat released all 4 of their players and Edward as well.
I know. And we should talk about Diamond as well.
That's true. Diamond, can you guys talk about Ryerson teams a bit and what's happening with it? Sure. We'll take this opportunity to segue into that. Just to give you guys, there's nothing concrete yet. But one of my professors, he's the athletic director Ryerson, Ivan Joseph. He coaches the women's soccer team. He also pretty much has any say with how athletic goes from a marketing standpoint or whatever teams can come in and out of Ryerson, right? And I think I saw somebody in the chat earlier was saying baseball and I don't know what other team, but baseball is not considered a team at Ryerson. That's because it takes 2 years for you to become a varsity sport. It doesn't happen overnight. The baseball team, produced incredible numbers here at Ryerson for this past year. They have a couple of people who are in our program, Ryerson Sport Media. They're phenomenal people. They play their heart out, and the baseball team is pretty good at Ryerson, but it's on the recreation page, which means that it's just kind of for fun. But it'll be a year, 2, 3 before it becomes an actual sport. Now that we have that kind of described and understood, the same goes for archery or fencing. Those will probably move at some point into actual sports at Ryerson or whatever the case may be. I was talking to my professor. I'm like, hey, let's put esports under one umbrella at Ryerson, put it on the recreations page, and after a few years, once collegiate scenes pop off in each game, we'll, fingers crossed, hopefully become a varsity sport, but there's nothing guaranteed. We're currently working with the athletic department to be put on the recreations page. So what that means is when you go to the Ryerson recreation page, not yet, but come September, once we have all the proper paperwork filled out, you'll see it'll be archery, dragon boat racing, and then right underneath that you'll see esports. So we'll be on the Ryerson athletic page just under the recreations tab, and then if all goes well, first year, second year, third year, once we have teams in all these different esports and we're starting to develop numbers, there's potential for us to become a varsity sport. So then we won't be on the recreation page anymore, we'll be on the athletic page.
The biggest thing though, we need players,
right? So once this finally goes full swing, I'll be meeting with Gamer at Ryerson. I'm sure some Ryerson locals might know what that is. That's the Gamer organization here at Ryerson. We'll be in talks with them with kind of figuring out how we manage the teams, because they're already kind of managing teams. I just want Joseph and I really just wanted Ryerson esports to be on the map, or in Ryerson's eyes, visible, right? So what we'll be in charge of is we'll be doing this podcast every Tuesday night, 7 p.m., just talking about esports, kind of just like for fun. We're really doing this just for fun. We have special guests come on the show, but a part of RU Esports will be the fact that we will oversee in some capacity the League of Legends team, the Counter-Strike Global Offensive team. We'll try to look for a Hearthstone team. We currently have a really, really good StarCraft player.
Only teams that have an actual games that have an actual collegiate scene.
Collegiate Star League will be the main playground.
Right now, it's like League, Counter-Strike, and
StarCraft, Hearthstone. I think if you just whip
but Hearthstone has a big one. So I think those three are kind of like the biggest. And then any other games that have like a good collegiate scene. It can't just be some
Collegiate Star League has League of Legends, Dota 2, StarCraft 2, CS:GO, Hearthstone, and they're announcing one more game. I just don't know which game it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they might be announcing another game. But we will. That's pretty much like what our goal is to be on the same page as Irvine or Miami University or RMU or Pike. We're just trying to be progressive and be one of the first Canadian universities to kind of like be in connection with the athletic department, et cetera, et cetera. If you want to like keep up to date with like how we're doing with that, follow us on Facebook or Twitter, and you'll find out as soon as it breaks what it kind of looks like. And somebody asked, can you talk about the teams and what's happening with it? So as far as my capacity knows, the CS:GO team, there will be lots more soon, and yeah, it's a good path to go down. Of course. One of the things, the CS:GO team is great. They place top 16 tryouts. Tryouts will be as soon as we get this thing kind of sorted. I think Collegiate Star League probably starts in October, but like I said, keep up to date with Facebook and Twitter, and literally any updates you might want about the Ryerson team. Facebook, Twitter. You can in one of the panels on the Twitch, you can find our social media. Facebook and Twitter are there. On Facebook, we're Esports RU, and on Twitter, we're RU_Esports. The CS:GO team is good. They placed top 16 in all of North America, but they placed 16th because they got destroyed by... I think it went 2-1. It was a best of 3. They went 2-1 against a team from the West Coast.
Right.
And the League of Legends team, we used to have a good team about 2 years ago, but unfortunately, they still go to Ryerson, but they just didn't want to play anymore.
That's the thing.
They didn't want to play anymore.
Right now, our only good team is Counter-Strike because they've found people who are dedicated to the team. There are tons of players who play League, Hearthstone, and Counter-Strike as well. All these top games, we could easily make a top team, like out of all the players at Ryerson. The problem is people have no motivation right now to play. Like if you're busy with school or doing something like that, you're not really going to want to spend the time to practice and be on a team. Once there's this motivation, once it's officially recognized by Ryerson, people will probably really want to play on the team as long as there's some kind of motivation and incentive to play. So that once that comes, then good teams will come.
That's honestly why we wanted to do this at Ryerson Esports. It kind of started out as a radio show. Now it's a talk show on Twitch, and then we're still going to continue that, but our main focus will be trying to grow RU Esports at Ryerson, and the fact that we even have the opportunity, the guy was dope, man, make this esports team. We're excited. But obviously we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We still need to finish the paperwork. We need to talk to gamers. There's a lot we got to do. But honestly, just keep an eye on Facebook and Twitter, and hopefully, like you said, Ryerson hopefully will start offering scholarships, but we'll get to that point. We'll cross that bridge.
That'd be nice, but we don't that would be great. Other schools are doing it. So.
Yeah. So I just want to help push Ryerson in the right direction. But that's pretty much all you need to know as to where we're at. Like I said, Facebook, Twitter, if you want to keep up to date.
Still a whiles away, but we're
it's still a whiles away. We do have 22 minutes left in the show.
Talk about
MSI. What are the current teams that are already confirmed for MSI?
CLG, Flash Wolves, Royal, G2, SKT, and then Supermassive, which is some Turkish team. I've never heard of them.
Where are you seeing this?
Yeah, I'll link it to you.
Oh, here it is. It's right on the main page.
Yeah, it's on the main.
G2. Wow, this is a pretty intense. This is insane. There's not that many teams, but
Well, it's MSI, right? It's not World. It's just like a kind of preview. Good teams though, like really good teams.
Yeah,
I think maybe it would have been cool to see Immortals instead of CLG.
I think Supermassive was the international wild
Oh, it is.
card.
It's from Turkey, but I don't understand. Like,
yeah, but no, they had really, really intense competition. If you take a look at the international wildcard tournament, I know that nobody ever looks at the international.
I remember this Dumbledore guy. That's it.
Yeah, that guy. Everyone's gonna be looking for him to solo kill Faker. But hold on.
Besides that, though, all the other teams like really like competitive. Like I think SKT will probably win, and I think China's having a lot of issues right now. But this is gonna be a good tournament.
Let's see. They had Japan compete. They had Russia compete.
Yeah, but it's really only Turkey and South America that.
No, I'm talking about in the international.
I know it's only Turkey and South America that ever put like a fight up. Like Japan has a very young like scene.
The second place team was from Russia.
Oh, I guess because they don't compete in the EU anymore, right? They have their own CIS.
They have their own. They have their own league,
that
right?
That sucks, man. If they
and then the third and fourth went to Saigon Jokers, which is like a Singapore team, and a Brazil team.
Yep.
So really, really interesting. I think Russia is really developing in talent. Like
but it's stupid that they can't be in the EU LCS. Like they have to have their own crappy LCS team. Or CIS team. That sucks.
Yeah, but
it's not good, dude. Like it's not a good thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's good. On one hand, it's good, but like because they have their own scene, it's a whole new scene starting up. Lots of new players, but it's they're not at the top level at all. They're not even close to the top level.
Honestly, in my opinion, like what can Riot do? Like they can.
Oh, I know. There's nothing. It's not their fault. It's international stuff, visas and all that.
Also, if I have this done correctly, Supermassive is sponsored by Nike.
What?
Yes, Supermassive.
Probably like
small. This is crazy. Like if you look at their jerseys, you'll see Nike symbol.
But it's not like Nike, like headquarters Nike. It's like Nike Turkey. They're like Nike probably gave them like money. They're like, hey, split it up and sponsor stuff in Turkey. And they're like,
it's
okay,
still Nike.
This is FaZe Clan sweater, and it's sponsored by Nike. And does Fnatic have like a Nike shoe or something?
You can't buy it though.
But they're still having the sponsorship. MLG has a lot of Nike sponsorship as well. But that is cool that they're a Turkish team. But still, you don't expect them to get this tournament, do you?
Taking a look at the bracket.
No. You don't have to look at the bracket, just look at the teams.
Holman, SK Telecom. Who do you think will be at the finals? SKT for sure. I think that Royal Never Give Up will not make it to the end.
I think they will. I still think China's way better than NA or E.
I have to disagree. I think China is like.
Well, okay, I think
maybe lower than EU, but like
the odds are definitely in Royal's favor. But I think this is a really good chance for other teams to like get to the finals. Like I think it's going to be a coin. If it's not Royal, it's going to coin flip between all the other teams.
I think CLG will not make it far though.
So either I think if it's not Royal in the finals, it's going to be G2. But the thing is, you can't count out Flash Wolves either because I think Taiwan is as good as Europe and North America.
But it's 5 days of groups. This long tournament. It's going to be drawn out for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they're going to be moving on to the knockout stage where they'll play semis. There's 2 semis, and then it's the finals. It's crazy. This tournament is going to be one of the longest international tournaments to date because IEM is always like a day. It's like super fast, and then MSI last year really fast as well. This might be like one of the first times that we see teams bring out different strategies. Like even if CLG might not have potential to win on paper, they can bring out so many different strats, and so can other teams. And like I'm excited. Like I honestly don't think I was as hyped until I saw how many games are going to be played.
I'm just sad now because you can't any League of Legends. Like LCS is over. There's like just gonna wait for MSI. I'm just happy to see like national tournament. But didn't you hear? I think Turtle said something like it's really stupid. 2 international tournaments in the whole year that are maybe Riot sponsored. There's also so there's 3. There's 3 international tournaments in the entire year. That's dumb. That's really stupid.
You know, like it's at the end of the day, like one thing that I was talking about with Sean Tepper, once again, Sean Tepper, the name drop. What if Riot raised the prize for NALCS or Worlds? Like, what if Worlds was like 5 mil?
Yeah, but that's not really the argument. Is that like there's not enough international competition? Like
I know.
Like what you're saying is that they should. Like,
what if the States?
I know World. That means the Worlds will be more important, but it still won't make like. That's not the point. The point is that like international tournaments happen all the time, and it's great. In League of Legends, they've really sniffed out like every other single like besides ESL, nobody else does League of Legends tournaments that are like with top teams. No one else. It's ESL and it's Riot, and I bet you Riot will one day tell like ESL that they can't do League anymore either. Like Riot has full control over the game. Other like in Counter-Strike and Dota, Valve just like is hands off with that. They let anybody do a tournament. Anybody who wants to. That's great. That has a more like competition. And Riot just has their own thing. They've eliminated every single other organizer, and it's good and it's also bad. Like there's more organization, but less tournaments, money. Like in Counter-Strike, there's so much more money. Like because there's so many different organizers, there's different tournaments, different. It's not Valve; it's their own league. You know, it's a shame, but you can't deny what Riot has like done. They've certainly like grown it a lot more.
One thing, for some reason, I have to kind of step away from MSI for a little bit. One thing that we forgot to talk about is the Fnatic Challenger team. Fnatic started up their own Challenger team called Fnatic Academy. And I mean, if this is any telltale sign that Yellow Star is coming over, but Clash is headlining this Challenger team, to be stepping down, and then obviously Yellow Star is supposedly going to be stepping up. But this team consists of Werlib, one of the best rookies right now in top lane. Like he's really, really good.
Yeah,
He plays.
he's not. He's not good.
He's good. Yeah.
Dude, he's like bottom tier.
No, he's good. No, he's good.
Okay.
No, I'm saying like starting, like he gets out of Challenger and like once he proves his worth, like I think
Okay.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Okay.
Jax is like
not
Zion Spartans.
Not meta at all. Now,
well, I mean, like it
probably won't be for a while.
Impaler, which I think is like
Darshan, man, he could play Jax.
Impaler, who I think is like pretty bad jungler in the European scene.
I think he's good.
Oh my god.
Dude, Billy is pretty compared to other junglers, dude.
Oh man.
Like you're comparing him to like Import. You can't like.
Oh man.
What is wrong with you?
Oh man, it's honestly so interesting. Like I don't understand how like Impaler came to America like 3 times, and he lost every single time.
He's not horrible. He's okay. He's better than Werlib is compared to like in the top lane.
Far from it. Werlib is actually let's take a look. He was on. He was the Challenger Series in spring for Europe, and he was on a team that came in first in the Challenger Series. Huma rings a bell. He was on Huma. And like you might think like, hey, like like whatever, like Werlib's trash, but like once I start digs in front of you, you're gonna get in the car and you're gonna have a drive. Like honestly, I think Werlib is pretty good. Like he might not be like he is definitely like the future of top lane for Europe. Like he's 18, he's a young dude. I think he's gonna go far. He just needs a good team, and now he's on Fnatic Academy. If Fnatic thinks he's good, come on.
That's so
it does. No, I mean,
Dude, Fnatic Counter-Strike just picked up this like new player because Olomeister's gone. They thought he's good, and they just after like 3 days. So just because Fnatic says someone's good doesn't mean they are.
I think
Fnatic got Clash. Do you think he's good?
Fnatic got. Oh, I think he's okay, but mean,
Fnatic picked him, so he must be really good. They got Gamsu. Well, Gamsu's okay. Can't just say that. You can't just drop names like that. Doesn't mean anything.
And then they grabbed the 2 randoms, Saw's Perfect and Exorc. I don't know who those guys are.
Me either.
It's
or Diamond.
He's probably coming to NA. He's probably
Who do you
coming
think
to
he'll
NA.
go to?
Well, Team Impulse is selling their spot. Whoever buys the spot might look at Diamond. He played disgustingly well when he was on Unicorns of Love, and unfortunately he had to leave due to visa issues. You have to talk high to compensate. I think that Diamond will make his return in North America because Europe seems to hate him. Edward Gaming is a Chinese team. Edward is going to enroll into a German university to try to get citizenship so he can play on you. I heard somebody was trying to go to a German university just to get citizenship. Mm-hmm. I think it might be Edward. I thought Diamond maybe announced that, but he's probably going to NA.
No, yeah. So what teams need junglers?
Echo Fox.
Actually, he could go to Echo Fox.
He could
if Froggen's on the team.
Because if Froggen on the team no matter what, I think. But
you
could get rid of.
What about Renegades? What if Crumb's left?
But why would he leave? I think he's doing fine.
Well, he retired once.
He played out of.
Retired once already.
That's true, but then Kiwi Kid announces his retirement.
He's old too. He's how old is he? Not old. He's old in esports. He's 25, isn't he? 27.
Crumbs is 23.
Oh, wow. Still, he still is. He's been playing a long time.
Yeah.
Since the beginning. He's from Vancouver.
Yeah, I know. I think he could go on an LCS team. He could go on a challenger team. But at this point in time,
who, Diamond or Crumbs? Oh.
I think he's looking to get on an LCS team. I don't think he'll settle for a challenger team. Just to come to NA and then go on a challenger team. Santorin did the same thing with Ember, and then look where that.
But I wonder if Diamond the best teams, because I don't think he is.
I think he is.
Not right now. I think he could be.
When he got off UOL, he just went to CIS. He just played in CIS.
Because it's all he made CIS for people for him. What happened to him and Edward is basically why they had to make the CIS. Because of all the visa issues with Russia and Germany and all that. He was forced to play there. But I don't know, I think he has the potential to be one of the top junglers, but I don't know. He isn't shown anything that will besides that UOL play dominating. But who did they play? Who did he beat when he was on UOL? Did he beat top European teams or just middle? Because he did play good, right? He played really well.
Look at it right now. What week? I think he played at least the first 2 weeks. At least the first 2 weeks. If we take a quick look here at the LCS. Week 1, Unicorns of Love beats Giants Gaming. Week 2, Unicorns of Love loses to Origin. Unicorns beats Fnatic. Week 3, I don't know if he's gone at this point. Unicorns beats Elements. Unicorn 2. I think by that point he was already gone. But Unicorns beats Roccat. Unicorns beats Vitality.
Right.
Yeah, I think at this point they already had Rudy or whoever they were drafting. Yeah, this point they had Rudy already. So there wasn't really too many great teams, but
that's the thing. He didn't beat G2 or Fnatic, even Fnatic or any of those teams. Did he beat? No, he didn't beat Fnatic, right? He wasn't playing at the top level. I think he was definitely one of the best players in the world at one time, right? When he was on Moscow 5. He knows a lot. He's really knowledgeable. He can play any champion almost. So he has the potential. But if he goes to NA, he's on their team and hope that they make the LCS. or playing some like random LCS. Like he might play an Echo Fox or Renegades or something, and just do like okay, you know. Like I don't think he's going to be the difference maker. He could definitely be an upgrade, but not.
I'm trying to figure out which team he went to in
What?
in the CIS. Yeah,
I don't even know.
I'm taking a quick look through the teams.
It's probably just one of like guns or something.
I don't. It looks like he didn't even go. Actually, now that I think about it.
Well, I think he was still trying to get.
Wow, Alex Isher's a sub on one of these teams apparently. It's funny because Na'Vi has a team in the CIS.
I know. It's not
They
very exciting.
placed fourth, not too bad. But no, I honestly don't think Diamond Prox even went to a CIS team. But
No, when you can go to NA, there's no reason why he would.
he didn't. He didn't go.
Never mind then.
That's really weird. I think he'll go to NA. There's a lot of people who are free agents right now, right? Like with all these teams kind of like in the air, like in the next couple of weeks, a couple of teams announced they were going to Korea to boot camp. Summer Split, I think starts. When does Summer Split start? Summer Split starts obviously after MSI, so it's probably gonna be like June, I think. I'm not sure. It'll probably, I don't know. By then, teams will have to announce their roster, to switch their team with whoever it is that buys their spot. Who do you think will underperform in MSI? Just like absolutely tank. Just like COG really like you're just
Yeah, I don't have anyone. They don't like. I don't. Unless they play like all of them really, really well, they're not going to do anything special. I think they're going to underperform, but it's good. It's still good. Like.
Yeah, and you have to think about like how they play their pick and ban. If they have like after winning against TSM, they're probably like fired up, right? Like SKT destroys them in 20 minutes. They're probably just gonna tilt for the rest of
Possibly.
MSI. Right?
It's just good practice. That's all.
Who are they facing first day? For the absolutely first day. COG against Flash Wolves. You're gonna have confidence.
Probably Flash Wolves are gonna win, dude. Taiwan, like, don't ever underestimate Taiwan. Taiwan is always such a good region, dude. Like, I think they're almost playing like they're playing better than China. Taiwan, like everyone always just thinks it's Taiwan and they're bad. Taiwan is such a good region, dude. I think Taiwan's better than NA and probably as good, if not better, than EU.
In the last week, regular split, okay. Flash Wolves loses a best of two and ties a best of two against the
best. But their playoff bracket's sort of like a dojo kind of thing where it's like they put all the teams from top to bottom like in a line, and then the bottom two teams fight, and then the winner of that plays the next team, the winner of that plays the next team. So I think where was Flash Wolves in that bracket? Find out. Like they were like in the middle.
They won the season. They were like CLG. They placed second.
Well, let's see. Hold on.
Oh man, we have 2 minutes left of the show.
I know, and the only viewers are without paying.
we had a lot earlier on.
Standings. Yeah, so they were like in the second round. So team before them had already beaten TPA or Taipei Assassins. Yeah, Taipei Assassins, and then they beat whatever the next team. And then they went to the finals. So they beat AHQ, who were the first place bye. But I think it was always like Taiwan. But I know that it's like a coin toss between AHQ and Flash Wolves. Like they're both really good on different days. So they have both those teams. I think are really good. And they're going to go to Worlds for sure. I remember last Worlds did really well. You know, they went to semis. Both teams.
Let me take a quick look at the Flash Wolves roster. I wonder if it's the same people.
We should close the show too. It's like.
Yeah, no. We'll just up here.
To the viewers, me and Arnie. No more
Joseph.
Now it's just me.
To GWP. Obviously, follow us: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. We've got a whole assortment of social media. We'll be posting stuff on YouTube soon. SoundCloud audio clips will be coming soon. And we will have a guest next week. MSI starts 2 weeks from now.
Are you done exams?
I
have my last one tomorrow.
Sure. Well,
do you have any more? Like, are you done?
After
this we can start like.
I had my last exam today.
Oh, good.
I have like a final assignment due Friday, and then once those are done, RU eSports will go into full swing. But until then, we will see you all 7 p.m. here in the GWP studio, as always.